It's a great pleasure to be with you again at the time of our interim results in 2021. We can only ever talk about our results when we first talk about the environment in which we operated. Last year was an incredibly difficult year. People think about last year as really the advent of COVID, but it wasn't so much a COVID year for us last year as a problem with economics and markets. This year, however, 2021 has been a devastating year from a mortality point of view. More than 30 of our colleagues have died. Many family members of our colleagues have died. There's been a massive death rate across both South Africa and the rest of Africa. And this has really profoundly affected people's lives. So it's against this backdrop that we've cast this set of results. I think it has to be said that this has been a time when the insurance industry has really stepped up to the plate. Sanlam has paid more than 10 billion rand of death claims so far in the first 6 months of this year. We've paid over 23 billion rand of claims since the start of last year. On top of that, Santam has made enormous payments to small and medium-sized businesses to deal with the business continuity situation that many businesses face, particularly in the hospitality and leisure industry. So our industry has really come to the party, and we've really demonstrated in very real terms our purpose, empowering generations to be financially prosperous, secure. And it's at a time like this when people really begin to understand the benefits of what we do. So aside from a very negative mortality experience, we've had really excellent results. And if we think about the main measures of our results that we generally look at, firstly, in terms of profits, our profits are 16% up on last year. But if you factor in the effects of the rand, which have been much stronger this year, in constant currency compared to last year, our profits are 22% up on last year. And I think you'll all agree that's a really great result. Secondly, our new business volumes are really very well up. So overall, our new business is up by 12%, but our life new business is up by 50%, almost across the board. That's a really tremendous achievement. And the value of our new business is up by almost 100%. I'll stop there and repeat it, 100%. This is just an incredible performance, and this is something that the market is going to be extremely pleased about. We have a measure of return on all of our businesses and on the group as a whole. Almost every single one of our businesses has been around about achieving target, and that is a really great performance. So the thing to understand is not only have our results been good, but everybody's results in the group have been good. Everybody has come to the table, and we haven't had people having to compensate here and there. One of the issues that we faced at Sanlam is with these huge mortality claims, how are we able to deal with that? Because the claims have been much higher than what we price into all of our products. We've managed to deal with this so far by releasing reserves that we've held because we've managed the company very conservatively. But it has to be said that going into 2022 and thinking ahead just over 6 months, we're going to have to make sure that our pricing and all of our underwriting is set in a way that we're able to deal with this pandemic in future years. Sadly, the COVID pandemic has not been just a small one-off extra spike in deaths for a short period of time. It's a prolonged and sustained pandemic that's going to be with us for quite a long time to come. And that is why Sanlam has been funding the efforts of Business Leadership South Africa and Business for South Africa to work with the government to roll out vaccine programs, to communicate about them. The very core purpose of our business has been amply demonstrated in this period, and Sanlam has actually underlined its role in society. On top of all the direct support in terms of mortality claims and business continuity claims, we've also made huge investments into society. So our legacy fund range has been responsible for investing to date over 800 million rand to support businesses struggling with COVID, and we've created over 2,000 brand new jobs. We've also launched our second climate fund. We've demonstrated our solvency through this period again, and I think we've demonstrated that we really are the company that any sensible client would want to do business with in our industry. I think we rolled out an advertising campaign this year, which you will all have seen has the slogan of living with confidence. And I think what we've demonstrated is that with our results, all of our customers, all of our employees, all of our shareholders can actually indeed live with confidence. We've also strengthened our board. In the last number of months, we've appointed two new independent board directors. One from Cameroon, who brings tremendous experience, Ebi Soko, coming in, giving us a very wide experience on the continent on our finance and banking. And then Willem van Biljon also joining us, who's a tech entrepreneur with a huge amount of experience. And as we digitalize our business, it's going to be great to have them on board. When we look at the outlook for the balance of the year, it's actually very difficult. The third wave of COVID is actually running on for much longer than we expected and at a much higher level. We're not exactly sure why this is the case. It could be the Delta variant. It could be some of the unrest that we've had in the country that has actually dragged this out. So we're going to have a very high level of mortality claims in the second half of this year. And we've estimated that those could be around about the same impact as we had on claims during the first half of the year. The economy in South Africa is gradually recovering. We also know that economies across Africa are also gradually recovering. And of course, I'm sure you've all seen the recent revision to GDP. So there is some cause for optimism. But the biggest impact on outlook remains whether we get vaccinations up to the level that we need them to or not. And this is a huge drive for Sanlam, for business across South Africa, and for all concerned citizens. And so we really hope that if we can get the vaccination story to continue with the momentum that it's begun with, we can look forward to a relatively better 2022 and a good 2021. 2021 for the whole year, we're hoping, will be an incredible year of performance from Sanlam and will underline the confidence that the public, regulators, and our shareholders can have in the company and what it does both for society and for customers. For everybody who's supported or been associated with Sanlam, I'd like to thank you for the role that you've played in helping us achieve this set of results and to wish you all a very safe balance of 2021.